Hi everyone, I want to show you how to use the Desmos scientific calculator to help you with these problems. And so what I'm going to use is this scientific calculator here. It's desmos.com scientific right there. Okay, that's the web address you're going to go to. You can just search for Desmos scientific calculator, but that's what we're going to use. And so we're going to come back here and I want to show you the problem right now that we are going to work on. And this is the first problem in your assignment. At least I think it's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to show you this part primarily in this video. How do you do the numerical calculations? And then at the end I can show you how you set the problem up. But this video is mostly focused on how do you do the calculations and a calculator can help you, and how does it help you. Okay, so first of all, I'll just show you how to get from this part to this part on the calculator. What's happening here is that it's explaining they're canceling a common factor. So here's what that means. You can divide the numerator and denominator of this fraction by the same factor, something that divides evenly into both numbers. So a number that you can divide into 25 is 5, and 5 also can be divided into 10. That's the greatest number, the greatest common factor that divides into both. So we will divide, if you were going to do it by hand, and then I'll show you how the Desmos calculator will just do this for you, but to understand what the calculator is doing, you could divide this by 5, and then you have to divide the denominator by the same factor. Okay, and then you just do each part. So 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that's why it works out. Okay, but how do you make the calculator do that for you? So you would just go to the Desmos calculator, and we had, I usually make a fraction first by, I'll show you, I hit the divide sign and it gives me my numerator and denominator. Okay, and so we had 25 over 10. Okay, it gives you a decimal, but this here will convert it to a fraction. There's your 5 over 2. So this is how you can make the calculator take 25 over 10 and produce 5 over 2. And again, what I did is I used the convert to a fraction button right here. Okay, that's how I can make the calculator go from this step to this step. Okay, now, in fact, you can actually just have the calculator do almost the whole problem for you. You can type this part straight into the calculator and just have it get to all the way to the answer for you. That's okay. So I'll show you how to do that. 27 minus 2 divided or over 1 minus negative 9. Let's try that. So I'm going to erase this, and first thing I do is make my fraction. Okay, and in the numerator I'll do 27 minus 2, and in the denominator I'll write 1 minus negative 9. Again, I just have the decimal and I convert it to a fraction, and all of a sudden now I basically went from the very first step all the way to the answer. Okay, and that's like going from here all the way to the end, and all you have to do is click that fraction button on the Desmos calculator and it will do it for you. Okay, and whatever the answer is here, it's simplified. They already simplified it for you, so you don't have to do any more work. Once you click that fraction button, you're done. Okay, so if you wanted to see why the problem was set up like this, I can talk about the rest of it, like basically explaining kind of the first half. Okay, so this is the slope formula, and anytime you're doing a slope problem, the formula is always the same, and it has 2 x quantities and 2 y quantities, so there's 4 numbers, and you have to know which number to substitute in each position. So the first one is always the x. They've labeled them. The first one is always the x. Here, this is an x, and each data point is like an xy. Here's an x, and there's a y. Okay, and the first one is 0.1. That's why it has these 1s here. Okay, and the second point is 0.2. That's why they both have a 2 on those. So you just substitute the numbers in. For example, when you're trying to do y2, the first number, you have to look at the point, the second point. This is the second point here, and you have to look at the y coordinate, and you can see that the y2 value is 27. So that's why they put the 27 right there. Okay, and then they just go through all the other numbers. They put their subtraction sign that was, they put this subtraction sign here, and then they need, now after the subtraction sign, then what do you need to type? You need to type the y1 value. So y1, so you have to look, that's in 0.1, and it's the y value, it's 2. And so they just put the 2 there, and then they just went through the rest of the problem. Okay, thanks.